Fantastic. There we go. Looks good. All right, welcome everybody. Apart from the slight technical glitch to kick off the morning and some assistance from one of the IT experts in Solomon's family there, we're up and running. So welcome to Thursday morning and Solomon's story. Lee, I don't know if you want to kick off with anything specific, but I'll hand it over to you to get us going.
Yes, I do want to just, before we start, I wanted to give a couple of greetings. Guy Danes, who's been part of our Wisdom's Chats right from day one, is taking a Zoom break. So he's sent his love and greetings and just saying he won't be with us for a while. And so we just send him love back. And Steve Carter and his family are taking a holiday. That doesn't mean that they're going anywhere. It just means that they're taking a break also from screens and homeschooling and doing some family stuff. So he also sends his greetings and love. So they both asked me to send that on to everybody. And I just wanted Solomon to know that as well, that he's got love coming from all directions. So Solomon, thank you for being with us and all the thought you've put into sharing your story, and we look forward to hearing what it's all about. So over to you. Thank you again.
Okay, trying to come out of that. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. I feel like a king this morning to be able to be sitting at the pilot. So let's get this plane flying. I was just thinking about it and thinking, oops, to be able to share so many things, the time is really, minimal. There's so much to share. But anyway, I wanted to actually start by saying the first picture that you see there, it's my family. So this is my wife in the middle. You can see she's full of life, full of smiles, and that's one of my best friends. And then this is my firstborn son. My wife's name is Ulrika. Just to help you, Jasper, it's not Ulrika with a K at the end. It's with a C at the end. I'm normally trying to correct people with a name. And then I've got Tshego Fatso, which is my firstborn son. You can see him there. Tshego Fatso means that he's a blessing. We gave him that name because we sensed that he was going to become a great blessing to our families and to the rest of the country and all that. And then that's our last born son. His name is Atang. Atang means multiply. So we felt that Atang was going to be multiplying the fame of just peace and righteousness and power that comes within our family. So that's why we gave him the name Atang. So this is my family, and as all of you know, I'm Solomon. My surname is Moatse. For those who can pronounce that well, I'm a Tswana guy. When I meet you face to face, Ivan, I'm going to tell you that you need to go to www.handsome.com and you'll realize that this is me. All right. So, yes. So my story, my experience as a child and within the family, I call it that it's actually the core and foundation of my life. It's a place where I feel I was shaped, and it's a place where I feel I was wired. Many people don't realize that years and years and years where you find yourself, those places are the ones that really get you rooted. I didn't have a really great upbringing. I had a dad. He was bully. You know, he was rough. He was tough. You know, he was fearless. And I had a mom. My mom was a person who really didn't have a voice. He In my family at that time, we actually were really in slavery within the house. No one could see us. Yeah, we were just closed. It was a place of pain, tears, fear. I was timid. Some of you can look at me right now. I'm actually transformed. I was afraid. I couldn't talk. But one of the main things that really happened within my family is there was quite a generational physical abuse that my dad took from his dad, and his dad took from his dad. So it was just a generational thing. It was just a really pit of hell, where every 2 days, you know, my mom and I, we had to remove furniture, rearrange it, you know, decided that we are not going to buy vases anymore to put flowers. And the couches, we ended up not having couches in the house because Daddy was nationalizing those furnitures, the vases, and all of those were on top of our bodies. So Daddy was very, very upset. I had a situation one day where I don't know what I did, but he took me. You know, I was this little, I think it was 1977 or something like that. So he took me, he was very upset about something. So he took me, and I don't know if you guys know Soweto houses. Soweto houses, the roofs, if you have not yet put your ceiling, the rooftop, it's quite high. So he actually took me with my clothes and threw me up that roof. And I went down back to the floor. You know, I feel like I was supposed to become a tennis ball and bounced back. But yeah, but I remember I could not walk after that for quite a long time. So I was really, really demotivated, and yes, I didn't have a voice. I was quiet, and there was lots of torture happening or stifled within myself. So yeah, I mean that's it's not easy to actually unfold the real activities that were happening within the home. But all I can say to you today is, you know, when you read the Bible says, I think from the book of John, where there is fear, love is not complete. So indeed, there was actually hostility. There was no love there. So obviously where somebody's not being loved and all that, yeah, the confidence is not there. They're demotivated. At the same time, trading forward, there was some positives about my dad. He was really hardworking. He was clever. He was sharp. He was a real provider. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed just his passion for work. He always had a solution for some of the difficult situations that we were facing. But I can tell you there isn't any time that I remember where we didn't have food to eat. And my mom was a great cook. She still is today. And by the way, the day we are out of down, I must actually get a lot of you to come so I can cook for you as well, because I love cooking. So my mom was a great cook, a very, very quiet person, very strong within. Stayed in a marriage that was so bad for a long time. And yeah. So I honor her for that. Then there was this exciting time when I had to go outside of the house. Oh, it was exciting. There was lots of enthusiasm raining within side of me. You know, all of a sudden I had a voice. I've got my mates at school, lots of energy, running around like a mad dog, as if I've seen a mad dog before, which I haven't. You know, there was lots of freedom, fresh air. Now remember, I'm outside of the house. All of a sudden, there's hope, you know, and there's a little bit of identity being shaped. Because at home, I actually didn't know exactly who I am because I was so suppressed, you know. I was enjoying my name being called, you know. So yeah, I enjoyed knowledge beginning to sit like a sponge within myself. And there was lots of opportunities that was knocking, compliments and praises coming from this one, that one. And I knew that I had a musical talent, but at school it became more evident that a lot of the people could not sing at all. So yeah, I also love sports. I started discovering that I can run fast. So really, I was enjoying being outside. And then I went to secondary and high school. I think it was the same school. And I started discovering myself a bit more. I started to see girls, boys, there's differences between girls and boys. Then I started to have some scales moving from my eyes. I started to see myself developing, knowing that there's something called homework, because at home, there wasn't time for homework. And whether you did homework or not, it didn't matter really, you know. And then at school, then I started playing soccer, and I started to play tennis. You can see that when I was now outside, I was starting to really finding a place to be, finding myself. And so these things were really, really filling me up. And joy was coming in the morning. Every time it's morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, actually I was awake, looking forward to go to school. And I was called a veranda, a celebrity actually at school. And I used to mimic Michael Jackson. Beat it, beat it, beat it. You know, I'm looking for a man in the middle. The girl is mine, the girl is mine, the girl is mine, mine, mine. Ooh, then waste time. Oh, because the girl is mine. So really, I was a celebrity on the veranda every morning. 7 o'clock, I was on the veranda doing Michael Jackson moves. You know, what was I asking for? I was asking for love. I was asking to be appreciated because I wasn't receiving that at all. And then eventually at high school, in matric, in fact, it started in standard 9. I think it's grade 11 right now. I was chosen as one of the children from my school to go to Funda Center in Soweto to go represent the school. I think it was 5 of us where we were doing math and science. And that's where I started having a friendship with Ulrika. And that's where I met her for the first time. By the way, I didn't like her when I met her actually. Yeah, I was too good for her. So obviously that's that's where I was, and obviously at school, peer pressure. You know, every guy had a girlfriend, so wanted to have a girlfriend. You know, you do things that others do. And then after high school, then I started working for 2 years in a retail shop. Um, and yeah, I didn't do anything, but I was just working and just learning a lot from the shop that I was working in Soweto, in Meadowlands. And then after that, I had opportunities to get. I got a scholarship to go to a pilot in at Wits, and then I also had got opportunities to go to engineering in Cape Town. Then I decided that, okay, so I can't go to Wits because it's close to home. Yeah, I'm used to Joburg. I have to go somewhere else. Then I decided to go to Cape Town and to go study electrical engineering. I studied electrical engineering for 3 years, and then I did my in-service training for the third year, and then I asked that company to move me from that because even though I was doing well with the engineering, I felt that I was misplaced. Then I moved to human resources management. I was very lucky. That company in Belleville said to me, listen, you're not going to be paying back the bursary for this electrical engineering. Then I actually started studying human resources management in Cape Technikon. I think right now it's called Cape Peninsula University. So that's where I did human resources management. So this is where really I started to be hooked as a person now, and I started to really meet people. You know, leadership skills started coming in, life skills started coming in. I started to really become a person now who's beginning to shape up. You know, learned through trial and error, learned to deal with people. You know, I started to strengthen as a person. I also was part of a church at the campus called Every Nation. Right at that time, it was called His People, but right now it's called Every Nation. So then I became a chairman in that campus, and obviously met different kind of cultures and tribes, people. I started to learn how to write a vision, and I started to learn how to do stage presentation. You know, it was very good being at university, in parallel being part of a church. I also studied a choir. So there was lots of groundwork that was happening when I was at university. Some character building environment as well. Started to really encounter the real world. So yeah, that's actually what happened when I was in university. I'll do everything to actually go back to university all over again, indeed, because yeah, I was quite fulfilled. I really believe that being in Cape Town prepared me to face the world, to face life issues. Yeah, so I'll forever be grateful for that. And then my business and work environment started when I was 12 years old. I started selling perfumes. Sometimes my dad wasn't around, you know, so it was really a breath of fresh air when he was not around. I started taking responsibility really at a very, very young age. You know, sewed ladies' back, silky stockings. By the way, Lee, I knew every kind of silky stockings, and I could sell it to you just like that. So on every Friday, I would go to people's houses and say, Mommy, Auntie, I know tomorrow you're going to funeral and all that, please. And these beige ones are very, very good. So yeah, and then I also was doing a bit of savings, and it was very interesting. My dad now started borrowing money from me because I was saving some money with what I was doing. I know I didn't write this on the presentation, but I also took photographs as well, and took weddings, bought myself quite a lot of cameras, and I was always neat, dressing very, very well at that age, 13, 14, just imagine. You know, I was already older. I looked like I was already 20, 21. Then I also experienced working for a company called Seattle Coffee Company. I don't know if you guys know that, where Exclusive Books is. So I actually worked there, I think, for 8 years. And like Ivan, my promotion in the company went very, very, very quickly. Like, you know, a month I was already an assistant manager. 3 months I was already out of that store to another store. I enjoyed myself in that company. I developed lots and lots of leaders. At that time, I already understood something called replication, multiplying your leaders. You know, understood things like what it means to impact your customers. So it was quite a very, very amazing experience, even though I had a bit of a setback at the end of my experience with the company, because our first franchising, I was supposed to be one of the people to be helped to do franchising. And then that monster of racialism came again, where some guy from London came, and then all of a sudden I didn't have that opportunity to be given to be able to franchise. And then I worked for a company called Chorus Letting for a year in Cape Town. I was doing sales in property. So that was very good as well. And then I also at a certain time became a church leader in my church, about 4 years. So that was quite good as well. And then after that, I came back to Joburg and I started a mobile car wash business, which failed dismally. It failed very, very bad, you know, yeah. And then I went back to Chorus Letting, then I started doing rental there. And at a certain time, I took a portfolio manager's position, and I grew very, very quickly. So that was very good as well. You know, I met a very great leader there at Chorus Letting as well. So today I work with a company called Hazelmark as an estate agent, and my passion is to just grow in that, and I like the flexibility of my work, because then I'm able to spend time with my children. And because of my past, I would love to give airtime to my family, to my kids. I don't take my children to my parents that much. If they're there for 3-4 days. I don't want to blame anybody for anything that happens to my children. So yeah. And now, obviously, talking about my work, I'm very happy to have met Jasper and Odwa, and my desire is to obviously find ways of adding more revenue within my household. It's an honor to meet all of you. You guys are champions. You're making difference. You're bringing some of the things that a person would not have been able to experience. So I really appreciate all of you as a team, as a group, the input and all the strengths that all of you have. And so I don't know if you guys want me to stop, because I think I still have 1 or 2 slides. Lee?
Solomon, we're just so just in awe of what you're sharing. You know, it's to the vulnerability that you've shared with us from a very tough childhood to the person that we see now. You know, we only know you as this bright and outgoing and, you know, free to share what you think and feel. And that's incredibly powerful to actually see that transformation that could not have been easy. So very, very grateful for that. And yes, I think, as you say, you're starting with another tough subject if your slide is entitled Trouble in Paradise. So I don't think we would want to rush that. So what would work well is if we can pick this up tomorrow, and then that'll give us a chance. I think you've got 2 or 3 slides left, and then we'll all get a chance just to share with you our thoughts and feelings around what you've shared with us. So I think if we can continue tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes, Trevor's saying in the chat, you know, you expressing gratitude to us, but actually the honor is ours. So we really are appreciating this and the opportunity to listen and share your story, which is incredibly powerful. And so we look forward to the rest.
Yeah, thanks.
Great, thanks Lee, thanks Solomon, thank you everyone. Absolutely, I mean, it just amazes me, just to echo what Lee has said, you know, how you managed to maintain this positive attitude through your life and see the positives out of situations that other people may have really seen as dismal and with no light at all at the end of the tunnel, and you've definitely managed to achieve that. So yeah, it's a truly amazing story, Solomon, and we appreciate it. So folks, I think what we'll do is we'll just we'll end off the session here, if that's okay with everyone. And Solomon, we look forward to the balance of your story tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
So fantastic day further, folks. You know, take some powerful messages out of Solomon's first half hour, and we look forward to episode 2 in the morning. So have a great day further, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go well.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Solomon.